This quarantined video episode of the Nerd Corporation podcast may contain spoilers and explicit language. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey, this is Kerry Means, the voice of Frylock, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, Thunder Cleese from The Brecht Show, and Jonah Bishop from Welcome to the Wayne. We didn't talk about that, did we? This is the Nerd Corporation podcast that you're listening to. Don't pay any attention to that damn cup. He's filled with crystal meth, for God's sake. Meanwhile, don't drink it.
Welcome to the Nerd Corporation.
What up, everybody? It's Thursday, and you know what that means.
I didn't even know it was Thursday. I've been at home sick for a week, so.
Oh, jeez.
Well, and with all the, staying at home stuff, I don't even know what day any day is.
I do have a funny story though. So, the other day I was on my computer here and I was waiting for a game to load and I was playing Animal Crossing and I had to go to the bathroom, so I stick it, in my hoodie pocket and I'm peeing, and I reached to flush the toilet, and the inevitable happens. My Switch falls out, one of the Joy-Cons pops off, the rest of it in the toilet. And the only thing I can compare it to is like when a mother gets that rush of adrenaline from like trying to save her kid. I just fast just reached in, pulled it out, wrapped it in a towel, and then it still works. And
wow.
So I think
it's just a little pee.
Just a little pee. It was after I was done, so it was more than a little, but it's fine.
10-second rule.
Yeah. It's fine.
Anyway, it's podcast day.
Oh yeah, all right.
Welcome to episode 91. Oh yeah, one of them, the Social Distancing Project. We are still in the midst of a crisis of sorts in the world, so we're all kind of keeping distance. Nick saying, of course he was sick for a bit, so we're probably going to be doing it like this over the next few weeks. But we're just going to shoot the shit, kind of hang out, and it's probably what we're going to do for the next few weeks is kind of just shoot the shit, because it's kind of rough to kind of structure things around a video call.
It's nice. I like it. I'm naked from the waist down.
Yeah, you are.
Cool.
Hey,
you gotta let it fly, my guy.
That's right.
Gotta let it hang.
You know what? It's the most freedom I've got right now, so I'll take it.
Wonderful thing, isn't it?
Well, let's get on with the nerd news. In Marvel news, Robert Downey Jr. is coming back to Marvel.
Yes.
So he is reprising his role.
Hold on, let me do that again. Can I just redo Iron Man?
Yeah.
I want to change a few things.
No, he's reprising the role of Tony Stark, which I think they're probably going to use him as an AI, I think. That'd be my only guess.
I think this is a perfect intro for Marvel Zombies.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And they already had him as a zombie.
I know.
In what was it? Was it Far From Home?
Game?
No, it was Far From Home, where
you're right.
Where Spider-Man was having those hallucinations from the stereo, and Tony pops out of the grave all crazy. I think it's either gonna go. He's gonna be an AI for a Ry Williams Ironheart series that's coming up at Disney Plus, and what it was, Jeff Goldblum confirmed that he was with Robert Downey Jr. doing voiceovers for the What If series for Disney Plus too.
Oh, nice.
So hopefully that's what he took a pay cut for it. So I wonder what's going on. Maybe because Doolittle flopped so bad.
I don't know. I mean, him taking a pay cut. I mean, I mean, that sounds like to me that he's just has a much lesser role. So that's probably what it is. Some kind of like AI thing, right? Like, they could use him to like project him, kind of like a Tupac type deal, where they're just gonna, fucking hologram him and then still use his voiceover, because that way it's not, that's a much less constrained role to play. Which I don't know. That's what makes sense to me.
Yeah, unless either that or they'll just cheapen it and like time travel. Like, Tony's still alive because time travel, which would cheapen everything that happened in Endgame.
Well, I mean, because, I don't know. I guess it depends on what they're doing, because WandaVision is set, like, super far back, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like in the 50s or something like that.
Yeah. I don't know.
Probably just a Force ghost at this point.
Yeah.
Show up every once in a while.
I hope he's in, like, a robe and just...
Oh, I got it. They added him to the fucking Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's right.
That's it.
That's all it is.
It's just him in the iron suit, glowing his hand.
Everyone's like, who the hell are you?
Except when his hand is held up, it's going like this. Just to piss a lot more people off.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to make every type of nerd upset.
Yep. So I got a...
Oh, go ahead.
So I have a couple things about Square Enix. My first one here is that they announced quite a few things. They announced a Nier Automata is coming to Game Pass. They announced a mobile game, and the original Nier remaster has been announced. So I don't know.
I didn't even know that was a thing. I thought that there was Nier, the game for PS3.
That's it.
That's it?
That's Yeah, so Square Enix has announced a remaster of the original 2020. So it's a remaster of a game that's coming out soon. 2010 Nier game, dubbing it Nier Replicant version 1.224744871139.
That sounds like a totally normal title for a game.
It is for the Nier series, but nobody's gonna use that.
Yeah.
There's a
it's like
trailer
if Panic at the Disco made a video game.
I know, right?
There's a trailer for it. I guess 2020 is the 10-year anniversary of that game, obviously. That game was a spin-off of the Drakengard franchise, which I don't think I ever even played or heard of. But, let's see. But yeah, I did play this original Nier game a little bit, and it was kind of fun. So I'd be kind of happy to see it come back as a remake.
I never really played any of the Nier games.
It seems like Automata, the one that came out in 2017, is the star of that show. I bought that game when it came out, and then I sold it, and then I bought it again digitally, and I just haven't even touched it. It's definitely up my alley, but I just haven't.
There's a lot in that game. There's like a lot. A lot.
Yeah.
It has its little funny quips and stuff like that. Like, obviously, there is a Rule 34 of is she 2B?
2B.
Yeah, of her. And then if you're playing the game and you try and move the camera underneath her, she'll like swat it away. Like, oh.
So it's actually a trophy to find a way to look under without her.
Like 10 different times, I think.
Yeah, it's horribly fucked up.
Wow. I know, because That was one of the first trophies I got.
Shocker.
Yeah.
So, my nerd news is Catherine Full Body is coming to Switch.
It
in
is.
July, right?
Yeah, July 20th, I think.
Very excited about
So is
Yeah.
Bioshock.
Yep.
Yeah, all the
Yep.
Bioshocks, all the Borderlands, except for 3, and
Yeah.
XCOM.
Ooh, that would be a good Switch game.
That'd be a great Switch game.
Wasn't
Yeah,
there some-
Catherine coming to the Switch is just kind of. It was like I was sitting there watching the direct, and it was kind of a piss poor direct because they focused a lot on. It was called a mini. It was called a mini direct, and I was just sitting there wondering, oh, okay, they're not going to show like a whole lot here. They announced a new Smash character.
Yeah.
It is a representative from the game ARMS.
Which is so silly because that game doesn't even have support anymore.
Nobody played that game to begin with.
Yeah,
Like,
and it's essentially Wii Sports boxing, but it just didn't get the hype that Wii Sports got.
It-
basically.
it had a cool sounding concept. Like, I think I played the demo and I was like, okay, this is not something I would buy for full price, but I'd,
And it's
play it
still
if I had it.
but-
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Right. But
So-
Nintendo just isn't supporting it's lost all support.
So
it's weird.
what's interesting for it though is that the game has killer designs for those characters that are in that world.
Mhm.
Like there's some really cool shit in that game. What's really weird though is that they kind of painted themselves into a little bit of a predicament because Nintendo and Sakurai have been very vocal about how if a character gets introduced into the game as an assist trophy or as a costume for a Mii fighter
or an Echo Fighter.
or well, no, not an Echo Fighter because they're actual fighters, but the what's it called? The spirits on the spirit board.
Right.
If they make it into the game like that, there's pretty good chance that they're not going to become an actual fighter. And so, but all of the mainstay fighters that are in that ARMS game are either trophies, Mii costumes, or on the spirit board. So everyone's going like, so what the fuck here, Nintendo? Are you going to break your rule and put, because what's his name? Springman, the blue guy, like the main guy that's on the box is an assist trophy,
Yeah.
and the girl version of that is a costume for a Mii fighter. So I was seeing some speculation that maybe this is their way of announcing a sequel for ARMS. Like maybe
Could
it's
be.
ARMS 2 and the main fighter for that game is going to be the new Smash character. I don't know. They didn't say anything. All they did was like, hey, new character for Smash. And then it goes to another splash card of ARMS. And it's like, yay, congrats. It's a guy from ARMS. And then they're like, oh, we can't show you anything because development is really long. And so I'm like,
And why show anything at all?
why talk about it at all?
Yeah.
It was just a very strange announcement. Very Nintendo though. It made a lot of sense. Anyways, Catherine Full Body coming to Switch. Everybody should fucking buy that game. It is not a $60 video game. It's $40, right?
Yeah.
It's $40.
No, it's 50.
Whatever. That's still great fucking price. And if
But
a
that
lot,
that game should have always been on a handheld device.
God, it's so perfect.
It's
for
your
Switch.
average puzzle platformer. It's not a hard game. It's a fun game.
Yeah, and I've been very vocal about how good Catherine is and its adult storytelling and how I've never really experienced anything like that in a video game before, like just how it tackles.
And it has Troy Baker.
It does how it tackles the complexities of adult relationships in a video game. It's really fucking cool. And if Atlas sees people buying the fuck out of this game, I think that's how we're going to get our Persona on Switch. And I don't think they're just going to do Persona 5. I think they're going to do Persona 3, 4, and 5.
God, I hope so, because I want to play those, and I know that I can just, get the emulator and play them, but I don't know.
Persona 4 is just as good as Persona 5.
Except,
Yeah.
well, so I played both 4 and 4 Golden, and I recommend that you skip 4 and just do 4 Golden, because they made a ton of quality of life improvements on 4 and brought them into Golden. So
I wonder if Sony's going to play nice with that, though, because Golden was a PS Vita exclusive.
yeah.
There's no other way to play that game except for on the Vita. But yeah, I mean, Golden is the way to play 4.
Well, never mind then.
Well, I'm just wondering if they're going to play nice. It seems like they've been playing nice with, like, Catherine's a PS4 exclusive.
I mean, there's so many emulators out there. When I had my Note before I switched over to Apple, I had a PSP emulator on my phone, and I was playing Advent Children, like, at a call center job that I had. I was just sitting there fucking playing it.
Nice.
Crisis Core.
Yeah. Or Crisis Core, yeah.
Yeah.
Children's movie.
Yeah, that's one of those That's one of those games that when I get my computer and I'm gonna start emulating shit, I'm gonna emulate Crisis Core.
All right, so for my nerd news, I've got a couple things. So first off, G.I. Joe Hasbro has put G.I. Joe on YouTube. They have released the first 3 5-part story arcs from the series, which are called the Mass Device, the Revenge of Cobra, and the Pyramid of Darkness. So you can watch those on YouTube as of several days ago. I did see that somebody had commented saying that the whole series has been up for free on Tubi for a few years now. I've never used Tubi.
On what?
Tubi, Tubi.com.
Streaming.
Yeah, it's a
But like
free
Snoop
stream.
Dogg. Who?
But yeah, so you can watch it on Tubi or on YouTube if you like.
Is
But,
it on does Hasbro just have a YouTube channel? Is that what it is? Or
It doesn't specifically say. So I would imagine so. But I'm sure if you just look up G.I. Joe, you'll find it. But
Still
yeah.
really cool though. That's really fun.
Oh yeah, here we go. You
Oh,
just
that on there.
yeah, just type in G.I. Joe, and then
yeah,
first one that pops up is the Mass Device Part 1.
nice. Yeah,
that's
and
rad.
that's like I love all of those 80s cartoons where like the entire like every episode has a central theme, and especially with G.I. Joe at the very end of the episode they
have their motivation.
They completely cut the episode and then just have a couple characters standing around going, "Hey kids, now remember bullying is like," it's so funny. They just directly break the fourth wall and straight up tell you what the lesson was, just in case you didn't quite get it.
Remember to say no to drugs.
It was almost every time it was some way related to drugs.
Yeah.
Tell me that you watched the dubbed over videos of the G.I. Joe cartoons, the PSA ones.
Oh yeah.
Dude, those were the funniest videos ever.
Where are those? Are those just on YouTube?
Yeah, dude, if you go on YouTube and type G.I. Joe dubbed, then there's a 10-minute video called Best of G.I. Joe PSAs, and people are just dubbing over them. Like there's this one of this kid, he's like cooking something and like his a fire starts or whatever, and one of the G.I. Joes runs in, but the voice that he yells and he's like, "Pork chop sandwiches," and he comes in and he's like talking like this, but it's just, "Get the fuck out of here! What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah, I'll have to look that up.
Oh yeah.
So my other piece of nerd news is that a hacker has supposedly stolen the Xbox Series X graphics source code and is holding it for ransom. Let's see. They were saying that somebody had contacted them who claimed to have test files related to a subset of our current and future graphics products. And let's see, yada yada yada, and yeah. So part of it, I'm just like trying to blaze through this because I had already kind of
But
forgotten what
the fact that you use yada yada,
um, so they stole source code that includes the code for AMD's Big Navi and Arden GPUs. The Arden GPU is rumored to be the Xbox Series X 12 teraflop GPU. So they posted segments of the code on GitHub, which were subsequently removed, and the hacker is asking for $100 million for the source code and has threatened to just drop the entirety of the stolen data online if a buyer is not found.
I
Those
mean,
people always get caught. No.
I mean, first of all, how much do they even have?
$100 million.
I'm just picturing Phil Spencer on the phone with the guy. I don't know who you are, but I will
Well,
find you.
and one of the things that AMD said is that the stolen data is quote unquote is not core to the competitiveness or security of our graphics products.
I don't know,
So-
bro. You gotta have those teraflops.
So like, who knows if the stolen code is anything that is that integral to it.
Well,
Like it's
yeah, I mean, like, what are you gonna do, like, with just source code? You know what I mean? You'd have to build an entire system to, support it.
right.
You know what I mean? And
Oh,
then
he's- I
$100
think
million.
I think he's going to do just that. Is he's not going to do anything with it. He just wants to get the money from it. Like I don't think
Yeah.
they have any plans to do anything else with it,
Yeah.
unless
So-
you're working for Sony.
Yeah, like that's interesting, but it doesn't
probably
seem
does.
like it's doesn't seem like it's ultimately, gonna go anywhere.
You know who it is? It's fucking Kevin
Oh.
from the old commercials.
Yeah.
Fire me.
Yeah.
That'll teach you.
So,
oh, go
yeah,
ahead.
go ahead.
No, sure. Okay. Okay.
Me,
Okay.
you.
Me. Okay. So the only other piece of news that I have is the Square Enix warns that it can't control the release date of FF7, and the street date has already been broken.
Yeah. Sorry
Uh-huh.
for interrupting you, Nick, but Cole has been watching very closely and sharing all of that information with me. But there are a lot of people getting their copies, and a lot of people are selling said copies on eBay for $100 each per game. So they're making what, $40 on each
So
game, or
I'd
20? Because
I'd
they're
pay
80.
I'd pay that. Like, sell it to me. Come on.
well, and yeah, that's in terms of markup, that's not that bad because he's using the
Because I think,
deluxe editions that cost $80, so
and
he's
he
really
had
only
5
charging
of them,
20.
right?
He had 4.
So he's making like $80 off of this, and he could go to jail or be sued.
So obviously, it seems that obviously the game is in distribution centers at the moment. We're coming very, very close upon release date. So of course, I mean, these things are bound to happen. A copy, quote unquote, fell off a truck or something like that. A lot of people are going to lose their jobs. Also, it could be the fact that they're just trolling. They're just posting pictures, like, taking them and opening up the box and looking at them and taking a stack of them in his hand and taking a picture of it just for, like, the Reddit clout. That's what I think most of it is. But I was quickly proven wrong when there were people unboxing the boxes and showing
Yeah,
everything that's in the
there's a picture right underneath the article, and he's got the deluxe edition. The cardboard box is opened up. He's got, what is it, the like 2 steel books that are one's face up and one's face down, and then a regular copy of the game, and then the mini soundtrack, and they're all just laid out like on a blanket or something like that.
What's on the back side of the steelbook?
Sephiroth.
It's on the back. It's Sephiroth. I thought on
I-
the front it was Sephiroth.
I think. Oh no, never mind. The art book is the other thing that I'm looking at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird flex in my book, but
Okay.
yeah, I mean, at this point I just feel bad for Square, which is really hard to do because Square fucks up a lot. But I feel bad for Square because their last 3 like major flagship titles have leaked in some way, shape, or form, and it's like, holy fuck, can we do something about this?
Can we
Like,
tighten this up, please?
holy
Yeah.
shit! Like, what's the fucking problem? Don't label the box Final Fantasy VII Remake Deluxe Edition copies in here. Like, let's fucking do something about. And you know that's a real layman's type of view from what's going on. But at the same time, I'm just like, what are we doing here, guys? Like, Final Fantasy 15, Kingdom Hearts 3, and FF7, and this isn't the first time that FF7 leaked. So it's like, what the fuck is going on over here, guys? Let's get it
But-
together here.
They did say in the article that they are taking. I feel like I should say that I got all my news from IGN. I don't want to discredit them, but
Mhm.
they're taking steps to ensure that the pre-orders of the remake made through the store will reach customers by the 10th, which is good news for me because that's where I was going to pre-order mine to get the little lanyard thing.
Yeah. I got an email earlier in the week saying the same thing, just saying, hey, you know, you've had it pre-ordered for a long time. We do plan on trying to get it to you April 10th. It still kind of shits on my whole plan. I'm pretty sure I've gone into it, but I've decided that I'm just going to buy the game digitally, and that is going to be the game that I play on that night, because obviously I want to be playing this game the fucking second it becomes available. I want to be playing it. So I'm just going to do that, and the copy that comes in the edition that I got from Square, I'm probably just going to keep that as unopened and just have it on display.
I'm probably going
Unless-
to do that with Resident Evil.
Yeah, unless those dickheads put the code inside the box, put like the DLC codes, because that's gonna suck. What else was I gonna say? Yeah, I don't know. It's very strange that these games keep leaking, but obviously, for anybody out there that is worried about a 23-year-old game being spoiled for them,
Yeah.
be on the lookout.
Hey, I didn't play it, so I'm totally worried. I don't want it spoiled for me.
Yeah, so Derek needs to be on
I need
spoiler
to-
control.
Yeah, exactly. I need to just sequester myself away from the internet for a minute.
Well, I mean, and there's lots of shit too that is in the game that obviously they're taking a 4 to 5 hour portion of the original game and turning it into a full-fledged video game. So obviously there's going to be new shit in there.
Mhm.
But a lot of shit leaked when that first original leak went through, when they had the PlayStation Network demo came out, or they posted it on the servers, and of course everybody with an unlocked essentially PS4 had a fucking heyday downloading it because it just was free access at that point.
Right.
Jeez.
They went into the source code and was able to find everything. Like I think the only thing that I was leaked on was a secret boss and the fact that Red 13 was in the game, and I'm sitting here going like, okay. I mean, Red 13 you were gonna see anyways. I don't know why everyone was freaking out about that.
Do they not even have it? Because like I'm on the website and it just says waiting list
Or what now?
for standard and deluxe.
On the website?
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably shut those fucking doors real fast. They're like, "Whoa, shit!" Well,
'Cause
not
I
only
haven't-
that, did you see that the
Oh, but
first
you can
class
pre-order it.
edition came up?
Yeah, you can still pre-order that.
I think it's because everybody canceled their first class and was like, "Well, holy fuck, I want the game on the 10th, and so we're gonna go digital."
I want the game now, goddammit.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't even ordered the game, so I guess I
Well-
should do that.
I guess now I only need to get the digital standard edition.
That's what I got.
I'm doing. I'm just like $63.97. What is it? Like I'm whatever. That's fine.
Yo,
If that's
send
the
me,
price I gotta pay.
send me that stimulus check though. I need to get this first class edition. Like,
Hey, we're supposed to get it by that time.
So what does that include?
the statue and the motorcycle and the game and the steel and all that. The ones that I had.
How much
ordered,
is that?
It
$330.
is with taxes and shipping. It cost me just under $400.
Did you see the PS4 Pro LE edition? Did you see that?
The LE edition for The Last of Us Part 2?
Yeah.
How it comes with her backpack and a vinyl and shit like that.
Yeah, dude, and that thing like apparently sold out immediately.
Yeah, so I don't have the LE edition. I have the collector's edition, which is I mean, Nick, you'll have to correct me on this, but I know that the collector's edition, the one that I got, comes with like the steel book and the statue, which is really all I care about.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like 100.
Is that available still?
No, definitely
Fuck.
not. No, definitely not.
Yeah.
So
Even the steelbook version of that is fucking gone. Like instantly.
Jeez.
Wasn't that LE edition like
Actually-
$250?
No, it was like closer to 400, I think.
No, it wasn't that much.
So on GameStop's website, you can pre-order the collector's edition.
Yeah, but that's about as trustful as
It's risky.
buying condoms on Wish.
Dude, what the fuck is with Wish? I swear to God. I still don't...
Jesse's had a couple good runs with Wish.
You saw what I posted, right?
Yeah, I did.
Like, I don't even know what that thing is still. Like, is it like a dick elongator? Is that what that was? I don't
think so. That's what I was gonna say.
Tell me more.
It was just this giant like suctiony thing that it positioned right like where your dick would be, so it was like it goes over your dick, I guess. And then there's like a strap that you strap around your thigh, and and it shows it like pulling.
Hey man, whatever gets the job done.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
Maybe it's for dudes with big wieners that don't want to show them on through their gray sweats, so they're not objectified as sexual objects.
Maybe.
Anyways,
I mean, I don't need to do that. I mean,
because you don't got a big dick.
I will tell you, Nick. I've been religiously checking my order status on Square Enix's website, and I won't tell you how long I've been doing that, but it's pretty shameful. I checked it the other day, and it says that shipments are going out right now. So
Okay.
I don't know
But
what that means.
I would go order it right now, but I can't.
So I will tell you that if you do find the time or the opportunity to order a first class edition right now,
I will not.
well,
But
you or for our listeners, if you were to order it right now, you can, or you won't be getting it. I think they said the cutoff was March 20th, 2020. If you didn't order it before then, you are definitely not getting it on release date. So, and with all this fuckery going down with the Rona, I doubt that it'll be.
Rona.
Put her down.
She didn't like that.
Just put her down.
No one likes
Okay.
Lala Rona.
speaking of weird, like, condoms, I watched that entire series in one
The Tiger
day.
King. Yeah.
One day, just
So
back to
sad.
back, start of the day, end of the day.
We
I didn't
finished
take
it in
a
a
single
morning.
break. Um,
That whole thing is just incredible. And
Every
like,
single person, with the exception of Saf, is just a bag of shit.
yeah, well,
oh,
like,
dude,
and it's so funny because everyone's like, I'm doing nothing wrong. It's all of them. Like every single one of them, and I'm like, no, you're all guilty of some crazy shit. Like, come on, let's
Yeah,
be real.
like each and every one of them
Uh-oh.
has like one thing that they're like just a piece of shit about.
did you see that video of the Undertaker at the Myrtle Beach one
Yeah,
that Doc Antle runs?
yeah.
Oh.
Or that video, and he's with the one hot blonde tiger chick too, the one that's
Um,
from Utah.
Fucking Doc Annell is I mean, they're all wild in their own perspective.
Yeah.
Like, their own.
Dude,
He's like a straight up cult leader. Like,
The
Yeah, he's
best,
like a straight up fucking Charles Manson.
he
The
just
best-
grooms all those women.
he does.
Yeah, dude.
the best part of that whole series was when they're talking about his wives or whatever, and they go to Eric and they're like, "How many wives does Doc Antle have?" And he's like,
Like,
"I don't fucking care." Because they're all like, "Oh yeah, like 9 or 7," and he's just like, "I don't fucking care." And that's why he was my favorite character.
And that's what's so funny too is like you can totally see because like Joe Exotic even says like he's pretty much his mentor. Doc Antle is his mentor, and you can totally see it like in so many different ways. But especially the fact that he's like grooming all those boys to be his husbands.
The straight men.
I
Yeah.
love how
I
love
got-
how
I
at the
got- I
end
got
of the
mad.
series, I love how like they're all just like, yeah, we're not gay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had girlfriends all growing up. I'm a straight dude, but he had meth.
Yeah, that's pretty
Did
much
you-
what it is.
Did you
Third
see
event with
the
tigers and meth?
article that John like got a new set of teeth?
Oh, did he?
Yeah, and he looks
Good.
like really fucking good.
Well, because I was gonna say like that dude, but like before the meth and everything, that was actually a really good looking dude. Like I can't believe like
Well,
he-
now he's
know.
back before the meth again with the new
Yeah.
teeth.
well
It
good
was
for
so
him.
funny.
Good
I
for him.
saw this meme, and it was of Joe smiling, right? And you know how he has those two teeth that are kind of together, and then there's
I
the one
know,
that's
I
all-
know where you're going with this.
it's the one tooth that's like all the way out. So
Social distance.
yeah, social distancing is like the two middle ones are like the ones that you're doing it wrong, and the one all the way on the right is like the one you're doing right.
Yeah, that was good.
That's funny.
So I was watching AEW from like the 20 what third 20 I don't remember, but like not this week's AEW, but last week's. And yeah, no, Eddie, I see what you were saying, like how they had some of the wrestlers in the audience and they're like giving each other shit and really kind of just like it was really fun and entertaining, but
Mhm.
also and this has nothing to do with the coronavirus stuff, but like during the commercial break, you know how they do the little, picture off to the side where you've got the audio from the ad, but you
Mhm.
still at least have the video of what's going on in the ring.
Right.
And MJF had the little cue cards that he was, doing the whole thing like those chicks on
Fuck them
YouTube do.
kids.
Yeah.
And like that was brilliant. That was really funny and a very intelligent way to like keep the energy going of the show,
Yeah.
even though you're not watching the show at the moment. So that
Yeah.
was really cool too. That was a really brilliant little thing.
I'm sure that you guys read that article about the dad taking his kid to meet MJF, and he was just like, he just flips him off and he just tells the
Yeah.
kid to his face, he's like, "Fuck them kids."
He was super kayfabe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of wrestling, we wanted to clarify something. Last week we talked about how WrestleMania was going to be moved until June at Madison Square Garden. Apparently that was just a rumor. WrestleMania is still going on at the Performance Center a week from tomorrow.
Yeah.
A week from Saturday, I mean. Yeah. WrestleMania at the Performance Center.
Misinformation can be just as dangerous as the virus, Eddie.
Hey,
You could have ruined a lot of people's year.
I got it from WrestleTalk, and WrestleTalk is very reliable.
Yeah,
Doesn't sound like it.
usually very reliable.
I just got it from watching Raw and how they kept talking about it was going to be at the Performance Center, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, when you had said that it was at Madison Square Garden, I was like, I just watched Raw, and they said that they were doing it at the Performance Center.
Yeah, so my bad.
It's not at the Garden.
Yeah, and I mean, who knows? Maybe that was one of the plans kicked around, and they decided against it.
Yeah.
You know, we don't know.
So, all of us, with the exception of Derek, have been religiously playing Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, like, and see, games like I love builder games, like games where you just like have to build shit. Like, to me, Animal Crossing is a cute zombie-less 7 Days to Die. It's like,
yeah, but the gameplay is way better than 7 Days to Die.
It's true.
I tried that game. I couldn't.
I did, dude. I played that game. I played that game for like 2 or 3 months straight.
And I grew up on simulator games like one-offs of The Sims. There was one I grew up with called The Herbs Sims in the City.
Oh yeah.
And
I had that on GameCube.
Oh, it was so good. I had it on Game Boy Advance, and then again on when the DS came out. But that's what got me into like this type of franchise, and that's how I was introduced into Animal Crossing.
Dude, I remember the first one that I played wasn't even like Sim City or anything like that. It was Theme Hospital. That was like the first sim game that I played, and then there's one that's actually on Game Pass right now called 2 Point Hospital, and that one is essentially like Theme Hospital, and all the characters kind of look like they were modeled after Wallace and Gromit characters. But that's a really fun one too.
Yeah.
See, and that's why I have not bothered buying it or trying to get into it, because like all of those games have never really grabbed my interest. Like they just don't seem like the kind of thing I'm into. Like I've never been into Sims and stuff like that.
Yeah, and you have to have a lot of time on your hands too, because it's essentially a second life.
Yeah.
But another game that I was going to compare it to is Stardew Valley, except Stardew isn't in real time, and it's more of like a farming sim, but it's a lot. It's like a lot like Animal Crossing.
And that's exactly how I felt. I was like, I've never played a single game. I know, characters from the game. I know all the Tom Nook memes, who's not a raccoon, by the way.
Tanuki.
Yeah, he's what Mario dresses up as.
Tanuki is a
I wonder if
Japanese
Mario
raccoon
just...
dog.
So what, did Mario just kind of gut one of them and put him on? Is that...
That's how that works.
Tom Nook's been dead for 30 years. But like I knew all the stuff about it, and I was like, and I was switching my parts into my new PC tower, and I was like on my Switch, and I was like, you know what? And I just like bought it, let it download, and I started playing it, and like 2 days later, I was like, I'm one of you, like I'm here.
Well, and that's how Cole was too. I was playing with 2 of my friends, and we were all using the voice chat feature and talking about like how far we've gotten in developing our islands and what we plan to do next, and if we have like any rare items that we could sell, like such as fruit. And Cole, he won't admit it, but he totally like felt left out. Like he wanted to play. He was like, that sounds so much fun to just like talk with your friends about this thing. So he was like,
his fucking face.
So begrudgingly, he was like, fine, I'll download it, because he had actually gotten sick of Doom. So
yeah, he's played all the Doom. There's no more Doom for him to play.
Yep.
Yeah, you played it all.
You won. You won it all.
You won the Doom. Fucking platinumed it.
Well, yeah, we'll get into that in a minute.
I want to hear, besides like what you guys have, like what your first impressions were and stuff. I want to hear like the stuff that you're like enjoying the most, and I'd also like to hear what you guys would say to our listeners and to Derek, who aren't playing the game but have also been thinking about playing
Okay,
the game.
let me say something real quick though. The game isn't fun.
Yes, it is.
The game
Yes,
isn't
it
fun. There's
Let
something
me do it.
about
Let
it.
me do a Jim camera look. Like,
There's something about it that just there's some witchcraft going on in the
It's
background of this
fun.
fucking game. It's not. It's fun like for a certain demographic, but for someone like me, where I'm just like, I've never given a piddly fuck about Animal Crossing, never, not once. So I'm sitting here going like, what the fuck is the deal, right?
not once, not never.
Not once,
Not
not
know
never.
how.
So I'm sitting here going, why the fuck do I want to play this game? Why? I didn't pay attention to any of the marketing, so you can't say I fell for that. I don't know what it is. There's some fucking
You had
witchcraft.
to have known that it was gonna be like one of the biggest games to drop this year, though.
It definitely is. It's absolutely the biggest title. I actually would say that it's probably bigger than, like, I think that I was thinking like, okay, what's the biggest beginning title of the year? And then I was like, well, it was Cyberpunk before it got delayed. And then I was like, okay, then it's a toss up between Resident Evil 3 and FF7. And I was like, of course FF7 wins, because that's probably the biggest title of the year so far. And then I was like, I just kept looking at it, and it is fucking everywhere. It's everywhere. And so I'm sitting here going like, okay. And I bought it before. Go ahead.
Sorry, there are as many Animal Crossing memes as there are Tiger King memes, and I'm waiting for the crossover to happen, because it's gonna happen.
I want
So
to become the Tiger King in my island.
In my TikTok feed, it's all Animal Crossing, Tiger King, and the coronavirus. Those are my three things.
And Tiger King's already being crossed with coronavirus.
Oh yeah.
Because the Carol Baskin. You know who causes coronavirus? It's that bitch Carol Baskin.
That bitch Carol Baskin.
I don't know. That's just like my initial thoughts, is because I'm in the exact same camp as Derek, is because I looked at the game and I'm like, nah, I'm all right. Like, I didn't need it. But every time I sit down to play that fucking stupid game, I became enamored with it. And it's not like it is pretty wholesome, and it could be the current climate that we're in right now, where everything is fucking on fire all the time right now. Like, you can't open your phone up without hearing some kind of cataclysmic event is happening somewhere that you don't even give a fuck about. But you're like,
And it's nice to escape to your little deserted island getaway package.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
That's what I use WoW for, though.
Well, yeah, and other people have their own escapes, but that's just kind of like, it's just like a nice little reprieve away from this game. Honest to God, could not have dropped at a better time. Like, I really like. If any good came out of this shit, it was for Animal Crossing. Like, it's ridiculous.
You're having fun. Shut up.
I want to hear what you guys like about it, and what about it appeals to you, and why it might appeal to our viewers and or Derek.
So I've got mostly pros. I have a few slight cons about it, but they're all mostly pros, because I went into this game, like I said, knowing slightly about it, but having never played a single iteration of the game in my life.
Same.
And I just bought it and started playing it, and I kind of got the hang of it, and I'm like, okay, I like the progression of it, like how stuff will just happen, not all at once, but over time, unless you're a fucking cheater.
I get called a gatekeeper whenever I say that time travel is cheating.
But that brings me to, like, my con is, like, because of the progression, and I haven't traveled yet. I refuse to. But it's like I've done. There's nothing else that I can do, so I just have to like stop playing the game for the day.
Yeah.
Like, I have no miles that I can redeem. I'm not doing anything else. So I'm just like, well, I'll wait for tomorrow.
You can catch bugs and fish and sell them for money.
See, and I think that's a big pro of the game is that it doesn't really, of course, if you're playing it the proper way, as Nick said, and not cheating it. Like, I mean, there are people that had the game for 3 days and they're taking screenshots of their Switch saying that they've got fucking 43 million bells and their house is already built with 4 fucking rooms. And
You're a
it's
fucking liar.
well, it's ridiculous. It's like, holy shit, this is not. And I'm not.
It's like, congratulations, you beat the game in a week. Like,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
else do you want?
See, and that's a pro for me, is that like I can play the game. It's a nice one of those things where it's like, okay, I can pick it up, I can play it for like an hour and a half, and do everything that I need to do for the day. Turn it
Yeah,
off,
like it
put
gives
it
you
away
a
until tomorrow.
natural stopping point.
Yeah.
It's just that, and that's what it is. As Nick said, it's that progression. It's the progression of doing minor things until
Right.
eventually you get something that's really cool. Like if you need any example at all, you can just visit Angela's Island and just see like all the little, and you know, of course she's a fucking weirdo in how she manages her island, and she's very meticulous about everything.
She worked really hard on that island.
Yeah.
She works really hard, but that's kind of like peak enjoyment for this game, and
Mhm.
that's what people really like
Well,
about
and
it.
that's what's cool is like everyone can play the game how they want. They can set down things randomly if they want, or they can nicely organize and make a beautiful island. You know,
Right.
like
It's like when we played Simpsons, Eddie. You
Yeah.
remember that?
Yeah. The tap out game.
Yeah.
That game was fun.
Yeah, I mean, I only liked that game because it was Simpsons,
Yeah.
but like, I went pretty fucking far in that game.
Yeah. I remember.
Or you can call people out in a memes group for time traveling and get banned from the admins.
Yeah, dude.
That was ridiculous.
There
for
was some,
drama.
there was like some bullshit about how like people were sharing their dodo codes on one thread, and like someone went into these people's islands and just fucked everything up, like chopped down every tree, cut up every rock, like fucking dug up every flower.
see, and wouldn't you like as soon as you realize that someone's doing that, wouldn't you just turn off your Switch to like kick them out?
Right, exactly. Like, I don't know.
Because that takes a lot of time and resources because you have to craft like the axes and stuff.
Right, because they degrade over time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy.
I just got the what did I just get? I think I just got my second move-in. Felicity, I want to say. I can't remember her name, but
Dude, Goose is my favorite one.
yeah, and they've all got these fucking houses that I built for them,
Yeah,
and none of my debt is being relieved.
right?
Like, help me out.
No, Goose is my favorite one because he's all about pumping iron. Like, that's all he talks about. Like, he's just like, hey, man, you know, we got to do reps, and now that we've built a bridge, I can go for long form runs.
That's
Yes.
Felicity. She's
Yeah.
cute.
And tell me, what is the dude that like? I saw him at my island once, and it was
Is that
during.
Harvey?
It was when, like, when the title screen is coming on and it's going over your island and it says push A.
Mhm.
There was just like a dude passed out on my beach.
Oh, was that Gulliver?
Let's go.
Yeah. What do you do with him? He's just.
He's
He
fucking
gives
obnoxious.
So you need to continuously talk to him until he wakes up.
Oh, he did not.
Yeah, you just have to keep pressing A.
Seriously, it's like 9 times. It's
Yeah.
9 interactions.
yeah, and then he'll be like, oh, my plane
My
went
phone
down.
broke.
Yeah, or yeah, my communicator broke. I need you to find 5 pieces of my communicator.
And you dig them up just like the manila clams.
Don't know what those are.
When you're on the beach, you see little.
Like squirts of water.
Yeah.
Spouts of water.
Haven't
You
seen
can
those.
dig
Like,
those up.
yeah, something will spit at you on the beach, and you dig them up,
Hmm.
and you can craft fishing bait out of them.
One thing that kind of reminds me of it is it's like another something that
Comparison.
well, it's a comparison, but it's something to attribute to, like that idea that you're starting something, like building it from the ground up.
Yeah.
Like something like the feeling that I get is like the feeling when I start, and this is a weird comparison, but this is how it's for me, is like the beginning of a Grand Theft Auto when you're at like the very bottom of the crime totem pole.
Right.
Like it shows you like your safe house and everything, and it's like, okay, this is your safe house, and you can build yourself up, and your money, you like start building your money and stuff like that, and obviously it's a much smaller scale than Grand Theft Auto because there's not really like a whole lot of customization in it. But like that's just kind of how I feel how the game is there's something enticing about building something from the ground up. And that's literally what the game is giving you, is they're giving you like your own private island.
Yeah.
Come down, and no matter how I feel about Tom Nook's financial gains and all of this, very strange. I think it's like one of the first things that he says to you is that you owe him $60,000 for a plane ticket.
And your camping gear.
And your camping gear, your tent, your tent, your own.
It's a package. It's a package.
It's a package, but I don't know who would sign up for a $60,000 package. But
well, you're moving somewhere essentially for retirement.
I'm just being a douche. I just think it's funny, like in the way that he like calculates things in his head. It's like it's hilarious. Like that.
Right.
That's part of the charm too. Is like this Tom Nook character who's like, oh, all very caring and warming and welcoming, and like, oh yeah, and then he hits you with the bill. It's just fun. It's just funny to me.
He's an extortionist.
It's that kind of Nintendo charm that is everywhere. It's pretty cool. So are we done with Animal Crossing?
I wanted to hear what.
Oh,
Eddie...
go ahead.
I really dig it. Like I'm on it every day, every night at work. Like I'm
Ate that shit up, bro.
I do. I love and it's crazy because yeah, I totally dig it. Like I love games like that. I love games where you have to just build the shit sometimes. Like it's cool. It's kind of relaxing at times, and like
the music.
Mm-hmm. And then I was noticing in one of the Animal Crossing groups that you can create your own island music. Like once your resident services happens.
So it's your island tune.
Uh-huh.
So you hear it when you speak to one of your villagers, and every hour on the hour your resident service bell dings, and it will ding to the tune of the song that you created. And my song is Last Surprise from the Persona 5 series.
That's awesome. Yeah, like some people are creating some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have mine be the final countdown.
My one from my 3DS in New Leaf, mine was A Cruel Angel's Thesis from Ava, the opening from Ava.
When I get there, I'm gonna do the first intro to Fire Force.
Nice.
Fucking weeb.
But yeah, so yeah, Animal Crossing's cool. If you're into those kind of games, go ahead and grab it.
It's very relaxing.
Do you guys like all the puns? It's a game based on puns.
Oh yeah, I mean, up until I start catching multiple fish, or
so
multiple
C+.
So what's funny about the sea bass is that in previous games they would do one pun the first time you caught the sea bass, and then every single time after, if you caught a sea bass, it would say, "I caught a sea bass." What? You again? So that's the joke. And I don't know why they got rid of it in New Horizons, because that is the most...
Literally everything that you catch is a sea bass.
Right? Like I crafted, what was it? Like in total, I crafted 35 bait just to catch a sturgeon.
Uh-huh.
Like, and I remember when I caught it, I was like,
So,
yes!
if you have bait, does that mean you don't have to spend 20 minutes trying to throw your lure in front of the fish?
No, so bait spawns a fish.
Okay.
And I was going to ask you guys, have you caught all of the available creatures for March? Because that's going to change in April.
I did. The sturgeon was my last one. That's why I was like...
The string fish was the last one for me, and that one took forever.
Yeah.
I did not even know that was a thing.
Yeah. So you have 2-ish days to catch all of the available creatures for March.
Oh, good.
Yep.
They'll come
Good
back.
luck.
They'll come back
mean-
next year.
Yeah.
Information that would have been useful to me yesterday.
Sorry. That's one of the, like, really... Like, there aren't very many goals in, like, Animal Crossing games, but, like, I feel like the most, like, notable goal is completing your museum.
Yeah.
So...
See, WoW does stuff like that a little bit too, as far as like having certain types of creatures available at certain times of the year. Because of course they do have holiday events, and during these holiday events there are like certain vendors that are only up during those events and that kind of thing. But also, like there's a battle pet that you can only find during the winter. There's a battle pet that you can only find during the summer. And then there are battle pets that you can only find they're in certain places, but they're only there during certain kinds of weather. Like there's one that's in a sand area, but he's only up if there's a sandstorm currently active. You know, shit like that. So like they do a lot of that here and there as well.
Yeah, and Animal Crossing also plays off of the weather. So there's one rare fish that only spawns on the pier when it's raining, and it's called a coelacanth. And it's supposed to be like the rarest fish in the game, but lately my island only rains, so catching a lot of those. But
That's cool.
Okay, I'm gonna talk about Doom now.
Yeah.
So, Doom 2020, also known as Doom Eternal.
It's a great game.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's a fantastic video game, actually. I've been vocal about how much I've been excited for this game. Doom 2016 is probably top 10 of all time for me. I really love that game a lot. It kind of hits every fucking note for me for a video game. It has a insanely satisfying gameplay loop. Has a minimalistic story, which is perfect for Doom because all you need is just a way of killing demons. It's really all you need. That's all Doom has ever been. Is just give me a reason to kill copious amounts of demons all the time, in the most brutal way possible. And guns, obviously, in the soundtrack. And Doom 2016 has probably top 3 soundtracks of all time for me. Just fucking amazing. It's just nonstop, just fucking insane, metal. That's all it is. It's just awesome fucking metal. And so when they announced that they were doing a sequel for the game, I was like, of course it is, because 2016 ends on quite a cliffhanger, and couldn't have been more excited. I really couldn't have. And this game was originally supposed to come out in November of last year, of 2019. Mm-hmm. And it got pushed back. I wasn't really devastated, but I was disappointed. But you can tell that there's a large amount of polish that was put into the video game in those months that they needed it, for sure. There's still some rough spots here and there. Strangely enough, it never gave me any issues when I played through it the first time. I played through the game twice, The first time I played through on Ultraviolence, which is personally I feel like the way to play the game, just because it asks more of you, like in terms of trying to accept that difficulty. Doom's gameplay is very it's basically on the fly puzzle solving if you really want to boil it down to its core. It's frenetic, kinetic gameplay, like super fast. You got to be thinking all the time on whether or not like what gun to 2016 was kind of just like a power fantasy in just find the quickest way, the quickest, coolest way to kill every demon in the room.
Right, yeah.
Doom Eternal is much different. And at times it feels detrimental to it. Because certain demons require certain weapons to use. And you mix that in with I feel like it's a problem. It's a minor problem, but it's the issue with ammo. You're constantly trying to get ammo all the time.
Yep.
That's something that you feel pretty immediately. Like you're constantly trying to conserve your ammo and use it as well as possible, and you feel that hurt the higher the difficulty. On Ultraviolence, is actually kind of frustrating because it was every fucking 5 seconds I get the alarm saying I'm on low ammo. I'm constantly switching to different guns. Like Doom 2016, it was like if you want to run through the majority of that game with the super shotgun, you totally could. Like just because it's a very versatile weapon and it feels good to use. But in Doom Eternal, they really want you to use every single weapon.
Yeah, there's like always a weapon that works better for a certain enemy, and there's weapons that you can use that are specifically used for like an enemy, like the original the regular shotguns, sticky bombs.
Yep.
For those I forgot what they were called, the big
Cockademons.
Cockdemons.
And I like stuff like that where it's like, okay, that's kind of special for that demon specifically. I think stuff like that is cool. This game is it's much like 2016. It's very self-aware and knows it's a video game, and I love games like that that don't really take itself too seriously. This one incorporates more serious story tones, which is a little weird for a Doom game because, as I said before, like the story's really never been much of an important thing for a Doom game. I don't know. It's not super invasive. I mean, it's fine. Like they tried telling like an origin story for the Doom guy, and it's like, well, we don't need that. Like we just give us a shotgun and fun ways to use it, and that's pretty much all you need. I do have a major problem with the game. Everything it's still got that satisfying game loop. It still uses a lot of shit that obviously made 2016 so much fun. Besides the ammo issue, but the ammo issue is something that is mitigated pretty easily. But it just feels like a little bug that's like biting at your heel all the fucking time, and it's like it's not really super annoying. It's just always kind of there, and it's just like whatever. Like they give you the chainsaw. You start out with the chainsaw immediately. The chainsaw is a weapon that you use to get new ammo. You chainsaw a demon, and they basically like spout out, not only copious amounts of blood, but like a rainfall of ammo, which is really cool. I just don't.
That's what happens when I kill demons with the chainsaw.
I just don't really think they give you enough. I don't know. It's I guess you could chalk it up to a balancing issue. So Doom is known for that gameplay dance. It's called the Doom dance. You're running around, you're shooting this demon, you're jumping, you're skipping, hop, have fucking fun. It's tons of fun. So the problem is when they introduce a new enemy in this game, and this enemy this enemy is insanely irritating, and it makes no fucking sense whatsoever, because it stops the Doom Dance like almost immediately, because this enemy requires absolutely all of your attention right then and there as soon as you find he has
Yeah.
a long range attack which will fuck you up, so you want to close that distance, but don't get too close, because he's got his own
Got a
fucking
shotgun. Yeah.
that also does the same amount of damage. Okay, and if you run away from him too long, he'll summon this fucking demon dog who also causes a shit ton of damage and will fucking hunt you down. Does run faster than you, by the way, so there's no getting away from it. Takes a large amount of bullets to kill that thing already as well. And then if you ever try to hit the guy, he has his own shield. So you have a small moment of time, like a very, very small window of opportunity to hit this guy, and you add on the fact that he's got a fucking boatload of health. It makes no sense at all. Okay, there are plenty of demons in this game where it's like they've also got boatloads of health, like the Doom Hunter. The Doom Hunter is a new enemy in this game where it takes a shit ton of it has a shit ton of health as well, and he goes back to like, okay, he's got the proper gun for him as well, because he's got this little force field thing that you have to take out with the plasma rifle. You can't use any other weapon. You can shoot his little aerial craft that he's on, and you can do that. But I never did that. I always just blasted him with the plasma rifle and took it from there. That's fine. The problem is that when you stick this Marauder guy on a battlefield with a shit ton of fucking other demons, that's a problem. That's a really big problem. You're killing the pacing of your game. You're killing the pacing of that gameplay loop. Because that whole thing, like I said, Doom Dance, you're supposed to run around and pick demons off like here and there. It's like the ultimate badass simulator. Like, you're supposed to feel insanely fucking cool, badass while playing this game. But when you throw the Marauder in, he demands your attention all the fucking time, because he's going to hunt you down really quickly. So, and I think it's like, it's a really puzzling addition to the game, because it just absolutely fucking kills the pacing of the game, which is the best part of Doom, besides the soundtrack. And the soundtrack for this game is better than Doom 2016's, which is really fucking saying something. But yeah, I did platinum it. I think this is the fastest time I've platinumed a game probably ever. like I played through it, and it is pretty long in the tooth. I feel like is another problem for me. It lasts way too long. It just needed to, like, that second to last level is so insanely fucking long, and it really
is.
I had to pause and be like, bro, like, what are we doing? We need to end.
Yeah. I feel like because I have Doom on my PC, and I have, Doom's on not PS Plus, PS Now, but I've never actually finished it, because I feel like I just have to be in a mood to play it, and I'll get playing it, and then I'll just get into an area where it just tells me the marker, and I just don't know where, like, how to get there, so I just end up giving up really quick. But I'm trying to slowly work my way through it.
Yeah,
it's definitely a fun game. Like, I'm really enjoying it. I played some of 2016, but I didn't finish it.
Yeah.
And I'm really enjoying this one. Like, this one's caught my attention a lot more than the other one, and I think it's because of that, like, tactical aspect, just like that aspect where you have to kind of really think about how you're going to use your ammo, or what ammo you're going to use on what demon.
Yeah, and what it does really, really fucking well. Like, there is a certain feeling that you get when you are just hightailing it through a fucking level, and it has like little mini set pieces where it's you'll run into and you can see them a mile away because you'll go into like this large area where there's fucking monkey bars everywhere. That's a new thing in this game where there's like these bars that hang out and you can swing from them, and it like just basically props you up in the air for more aerial combat, which is really cool. But again, like what it does really fucking well.
It really does.
And just there's that certain level of like, holy fuck, this is awesome. Just running around with a shotgun and then jumping around and then jumping off of like a cliff or something and leaving, shooting a rocket at a demon that's up on that cliff or something.
Yeah.
There's just this level of like personally, I think it's surpassing gunplay for me from like Call of Duty, because Call of Duty was like gunplay king. You know what I mean? Like it's always been up on this pedestal where it's like I feel like Call of Duty has absolutely the best gunplay until 2016 came out, which nobody thought that fucking game was going to be good. Nobody, not one single person on this planet. They looked at it, they're like, oh, this is a shameless cash grab, like resurrecting a dead fucking franchise. No one's going to want to play this. And if they do, then they're just sadistic and like they want pain, and it didn't help that in 2016 when the game came out,
The movie.
yeah, well, there was that, and then Bethesda did not provide review copies for that game, which was a really, really bad sign. Nobody thought 2016 was going to be good, and then it ended up being a fucking really, really great game. I don't know. Everyone's bitching about the platforming, and I did bitch about it at the time, but I kind of started thinking about it, and I got some separate opinions that said like it's kind of just like a reprieve away from like because like the game is kind of exhausting, like because it asks a lot from you. It's super super crazy when you're playing it at the apex of the gameplay. It's super exhausting, but it's really weird because I would personally give this game like an 8, like an 8.5. Nobody's talking about. I mean, like all the mainstream reviewers are not talking about the Marauder. Like it, and I feel I like genuinely feel like it's a really fucking big problem.
Right.
Like he shows up like maybe half a dozen times in the entire game, but like when you're trying to platinum in the game, there's these things called secret encounters, where it gives you like like anywhere between 15 to 60 seconds to kill as many demons as they're allotting you. So like they'll throw like 10 demons at you, and it's like, okay, 30 seconds to kill them all, and that's how you win that secret encounter. And then you get a secret encounter that throws a fucking Marauder and like 4 other demons at you, and it gives you like 45 seconds.
Wow.
No, it just doesn't fucking work.
Yeah, it doesn't happen.
And not only that, like another baffling aspect of it is that the BFG, which is known for fucking killing everything. It's called the big fucking gun for a reason. It kills everything in one hit. It doesn't even have, like, the projectile doesn't even have to touch a demon. It'll still kill it.
Mm-hmm.
You fire that whole thing, you can fire the entire thing at a Marauder, and it just totally renders it useless.
That's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. And I was bitching about the multiplayer trophies. They are a little bit more invasive this time around. With 2016, it was like 2 or 3. That's it. And then, but this one had, I think, like 7.
Yeah, it was like 6 or 7.
One of them was 200 kills, which was ridiculous. It's funny. Yesterday, I got into a match with 2 people that didn't really know what they were doing. So I just was like racking the kills up. Like in one match, I got 40 kills, and then the next match, I got 37. And then after that, I just, progressively went at it.
There was one guy who you got matched with, and he was like, "Are you ready to rip and tear?"
Yeah, he's like, "Hello, Doomslayer," and I didn't have my mic on at the time. I just had my headphones on, and he's like, "Hello, Doomslayer. Are you ready to rip and tear?" I'm like, oh.
Like just so like
That's wholesome,
joyful and
yeah,
very very cute.
It's a very
that's
normal thing to ask,
Yeah, that's basically my mini review of Doom Eternal. I think it is a good game. I think it's still better than the sum of its parts. I think it's still a really great video game. You can easily wait like 3 months and get that game half off. So
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think the game is really fun. It's completely different from 2016 in the sense that there is a lot more of the platforming and a lot more of the I think the gunplay seems a little cleaner for me.
Yeah.
In Eternal than it does for 2016. I think it's pretty awesome. So with that, we will conclude our episode tonight unless anybody else has anything they want to talk about.
Nah.
Wash your
I want
hands,
to say,
please.
fuck
Stay
you,
safe.
Eddie.
As always, you can follow us on social media.
On Facebook at the Nerd Corporation, a podcast.
On Twitter and Instagram at Nerdcore Podcast.
Or you can shoot us an email at nerdcorepodcast@gmail.com.
Or if you want to listen to more of our island life development, subscribe to our Patreon.
That's right. Patreon.com/Nerdcorp podcast. Several tiers of loot to have access to, from stickers and shirts to extra content and bonus episodes. If you can't make a monthly commitment, consider supporting us on our Patreon, our PayPal. PayPal.me/Nerdcorp podcast. We want to have the best loot, best merchandise, and we have gotten the best equipment thanks to you. So, for the Nerd Corporation, my name is Eddie Lyon.
I'm Cole Simper.
I'm Angela Wooden.
I'm Nick Lewis.
And I'm Derek Reese.
Keep it nerdy, y'all.
If you can't afford our Patreon, consider our Patreon.
It's just that- Hey.